Good morning, everyone. I'm David Paul. I'm the Managing Director of VectorVest here in the UK. I want to talk about four relatively small cap shares that look very good for a move over the next couple of weeks. But 70% of the exercise, in my humble opinion, is what the overall market is doing. In my first slide, I look at the VectorVest Composite of the UK market, which is an equally weighted index of all of the shares that we follow on the LSE and on AIM. And that's the chart over the last 18 months odd, I suppose. I think you can see the COVID sell-off and then the move up since last March. Superimposed on the chart, you should be able to see the red and the green triangles, which are the longest measure of the trend on VectorVest, and those are automatically populated for us. So the longest term measure of the trend has been up since the 11th of November last year. The green line study in the window below the price is the proprietary VectorVest buy-sell ratio, which measures the breadth of the advance. And what is a little worrying is that the price of the VectorVest Composite has been rising, but the buy-sell ratio has been falling. So that's a slowing down in the trend, and we have to be careful about that. As we go into the trading day, the short-term trend of the London market is down. The underlying trend is up, and that's been up, as I say, since the 11th of November. So I'm certainly going to wait until the short-term trend, in fact, rejoins the long-term trend, both pointing upwards. Last week, we had the normal end of quarter shenanigans around the so-called quadruple witching. That's well out of the way. The market is now waiting, certainly across the pond, for the Fed's testimony to Congress today, which will be eagerly awaited. On Monday, as you all probably know, most of the damage that was done on Friday was rectified yesterday. So we have to approach the day with an open mind. VectorVest says, be careful today. Don't buy any stocks until the short-term trend rejoins the long-term trend. Well, which one should you buy? Well, I like the look of Future. Future's had a great run, and it's trading and has possibly broken out of an ascending triangle. It's on a buy recommendation on VectorVest, been a buy recommendation for a long time. And the blue line study just below the price is forecast earnings per share, which is rising, driving the share price up. And it looks to me highly probable to make a further move in the upside. So it could quite easily be a 10 to 15, maybe 20% move in that share in the short term. Volume is also good. It's also breaking up and rising volume. That's a really good sign. This is Cape Tech, and Cape Tech also trending strongly. It's pulled back to the last old high. As you can see, earnings per share growing strongly. And those of you that are technicians will note that the stochastic is down below 20 in a buy area, and that it's showing a technical formation known as reverse divergence, which is a strong precursor of a move. So as soon as the short-term trend of the London market turns up in the same direction as the longer-term trend, then both Cape Tech and Future should do well. Third one is Numis. And again, in Numis, you can see it's moving up and being accumulated at a fairly obvious trend line. The earnings per share is rising strongly. That sector is going well. And the green line above the price, that's the VectorVest valuation. So significantly undervalued by the market in our opinion, and it moved up in reasonable volume yesterday. So Numis looks as if it can stretch its legs, assuming the general market starts to move. And the last one, which is also trending strongly, undervalued, growing earnings reasonably strongly, is Litigation Capital. It's pulled back to the last old highs. It's been rising and rising volume, pulling back and falling volume. It's always a good sign, and that looks poised to stretch its legs over the next week or two. I think that those are the four shares I wanted to bring to your attention. There's certainly many more on VectorVest. I think that We're going to see what happens today as they speak, as the Fed speaks to Congress. We've got a major meeting of the Fed again in Jackson Hole at the end of August. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see quite a listless market until then, a summer market until then. Those shares look as if they can stretch their legs. So I hope you found that useful. If you would like to look at VectorVest in a little bit more detail, then just go to vectorvest.co.uk, and there you can take a 30-day trial of VectorVest for what, £5.95. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.